Hello and welcome back to the VolReport YouTube channel. I'm Ryan Sylvia, joined by Noah Taylor. We're with VolReport.com on the Rivals Network, and we have another trivia video coming at you. I want to apologize for not having one last week, but we're back to the weekly trivia videos revolving Tennessee football until we get kickoff here in Knoxville. This one is going to be a Family Feud edition of things. I took this idea from JM Baseball over on YouTube. They do a bunch of trivia videos, so got to give credit where it's due. Go check them out. They do a bunch of MLB stuff. But the way we're going to do this, it's just going to be Noah today, so you can compete against him yourself and let us know how you do in the comments. But we'll have a topic. There'll be 5 answers. The number 1 answer will be worth 5 points. Number 2 answer will be worth 4 points, 3 for 3, 4 for 2, 5 for 1. And we'll do 3 rounds of that. We'll see how many points you get. You get 3 strikes, and then that'll do it. So let's jump right into things. This is all going to be from last football season for Tennessee. So from the 2023 football season for UT, and it's all player leaders in this category. We're going to start on the defensive side of the ball, Noah. The top 5 leaders in tackles for Tennessee football last season.
Oh boy. Okay. Does this count? This counts players that are no longer with the team, right?
Yeah, just who led them last year in tackles, the top 5 guys.
I'll say Elijah Herring will be one.
Yeah, Elijah Herring's going to be the number 1 answer. He had, let me pull it up really fast. He had 80 tackles, so by far the most on the team. Obviously now transferred to Memphis, but pitched in as the starting middle linebacker for most of the year. He's the number 1 answer.
Okay. So I'll go with Aaron Beasley.
Aaron Beasley is on there at number 2. So you got the top 2 guys off the board. 3, 4, and 5 are left.
I'm going to go with the back end here and say Jalen McCullough.
And that's number 3. Aaron Beasley was at 69. Jalen McCullough's at 58. You got the top 3 guys now. That'll put you up to 12 points already without catching a strike. See if you can clear the board.
All right. I guess I'll go up front now and say Amari Thomas.
Amari Thomas is going to be your first strike. He is at number 7. He had 35 tackles, and the number 5 guy's at 41, so he was 6 behind making the list. But he is going to be your first strike with 4 and 5 still on the board.
I'll say Tamari McDonald.
T-Mac is number 6, so he is 1 off. No. He was at 40 tackles, so he was literally 1 tackle away from tying the guy in 5th place. That's going to be your second strike. But you've got 1, 2, 3, and now 6 and 7 years dancing around those final 2 guys. But they are the just 3 points total for those last 2 guys, so you can still get a nice kind of point score here, even if you don't get them. But you got 1 strike left to see if you can grab one of them.
I'll say Gabe Jeudy-Lally.
Gabe Jeudy-Lally, he's on there at number 5. He was with 41 tackles right now in the Titans training camp, but that's going to put you up to 13 points. You have the chance to get all 15 in this round if you can name the number 4 guy.
I'll go Wesley Walker.
Wesley Walker is it. You clear the board there. Wesley Walker, number 4, so you're up to 15 points. Wesley Walker had 53 tackles. Those 2 honestly kind of surprised me. I don't know. I wasn't fully expecting Wesley Walker and Gabe Jeudy-Lally to be in the top 5 for tackles. Yeah. I thought maybe Jeremiah Thielander would sneak in there, but he was at number 8. Tyler Barron down at number 10. James Pierce Jr. at number 11. So it really was the secondary. You had 2 linebackers at the top, kind of the 2 starters, and then the 2 safeties and a cornerback rounding out the group. So Noah clears the board. Used all of his strikes, but he gets the job done. We're going to stick with defense now. We're going to go to sacks. There is a tiebreaker for number 4 and number 5. So the tiebreaker I'm using is yards on those sacks. So like yardage lost because of the sacks, just to help kind of sort it. So that way 4 is still the 4 and 5 is still the 5, even though technically those guys had the same number of sacks. But I'll open up the question now for you, Noah. leaders in sacks for Tennessee football in 2023?
I'll go with James Pierce Jr. I feel pretty good about.
Yeah, that's on the board. That's exactly 10. He's number 1 on the list. So James Pierce Jr., that'll give you now 20 points because you got the 5-pointer off the board.
I'll say Roman Harrison.
Roman Harrison is not going to be on there. Roman Harrison is pretty far down. He only had half a sack on the year. So he really had 11 tackles, half a sack, 3 quarterback hurries. So Roman Harrison's going to be your first strike of this round.
I will go with Bryson Eason.
Bryson Eason is going to be your second strike. He had 1.5 sacks, so he is not going to be on the list. That's 2 strikes for you so far, and you just have 1 answer off the board.
Oh boy, man! I thought this one would be easier. I'll stick with the defensive line on my last strike here and say, trying to think of all the edge guys. I'll go the interior and put Amari Thomas in there.
Amari Thomas is strike number 3. So Noah just gets the top guy, Amari Thomas, with 1 sack. The cutoff line was 3 sacks to make the list.
Oh.
So Noah finishes with the 5-pointer, so he gets the most important one, but one that I think everyone playing along also got immediately. Yeah. The other 4 guys that you missed out on was 6 sacks. Tyler Barron was in was in the second spot. In third place, Omar Norman Lott with 5.5. And the 2 guys with 3 sacks for number 4 and number 5. In the 4 spot, because he racked up 26 yardage of sacks, was Aaron Beasley at the linebacker position. And then in last place, probably the hardest one of the group, was Joshua Josephs off the edge. He also had 3 sacks for 18 yards. So that's going to be those final 4 guys. If you're playing along, score yourself. Noah's up to 20 points right now going into the final question. We're going to flip it to offense now. We're going to look at the longest reception by a receiver. So, one per receiver, whatever your longest was. So, like looking back to 2022, like Jalen Hyatt, if he had a 70-yard reception, then that would be first place or whatever it was. And then all of his other ones wouldn't count. So it's 5 different players, their longest reception in order from that 2023 season. You can give it a go now.
Well, I got to go ahead and get this one out of the way, so I'm going to name him anyway. But Ramel Keaton.
Ramel Keaton, second place. He had a 60-yard catch, and that's going to be good for second place during the season. So that's a 4-pointer. You're up to 24 points now.
I'll say Caleb Webb.
Caleb Webb is not going to be on there. Caleb Webb's long was 28 yards. So he was 6, 7, 8. He was in 9th place with a 28-yard catch. Strike number 1.
I'll say he only had 1. I'm trying to remember how long the throw was, because I think we've all kind of forgotten this game or tried to forget it. But Dante Thornton's catch against Missouri. Did that get him in there?
It did. That was a 47-yard touchdown, his only touchdown of the season, and that's good for 4th place. So that's a 2-pointer for Noah, avoids a strike, and you're up to 26 points now. Yeah, you have Keaton and Thornton off the board. Number 1, number 3, number 5 left.
There's none that come to mind, not like when he was a freshman in 22. I'll throw Squirrel White in there. I don't know, though.
Squirrel White's the number 1 guy. I honestly can't think of this play off the top of my head, but an 83-yarder is the number 1 answer. I assume it was against like a UConn or something like that. But when I saw that, I was racking my brain. I can't, like you said, 2022, he had all the big ones with Joe, but I couldn't really fully think of exactly which play that was. I guess it gets a little lost in the shuffle, but that's going to be the number 1 answer for Squirrel White with 83 yards. His average yardage on a catch was just a shade under 12, but I think that 83 yarder definitely helps that out.
Yeah.
Obviously, a big bulk of the load for Squirrel White, catching a lot of screens and stuff, so that takes it down. But he's the number one answer. You're up to 31 points now. You still have 2 strikes to play with and 2 guys left on the board.
I will go Chaz Nimrod.
Chaz Nimrod's going to be a strike. Chaz Nimrod was number 6 with a 39-yarder, but that is going to be strike number 2. So 2 guys left and 1 strike remaining.
Is this just receivers?
It's just longest reception.
I find it hard to believe any of the tight ends had a – but who knows? I don't know. I'll throw Brew in there just because I'm embarrassing myself. Might as well keep going.
Yeah, Brew's in there. He's at number 3. So that's going to be another 3 points for you, up to 34 now. And his longest came in at 55 yards. So
wow,
you have just the number 5 guy left. So a good round for you, but we'll see if you can pull it out.
I don't know. Maybe I will throw a tight end in there. Just it's my last strike. So yeah, I'll say McCollin Castles.
That's it. 43-yarder for Castles. I believe it was that play down the sideline that I think Brew McCoy
Austin P. Yeah, you're right. The wonderful Smokey Gray game. I do remember that now. Yeah.
So that's the top 5. You get all 5 in tackles, longest reception, but in the middle you get just James Pierce Jr. for sacks. So there's definitely, it was a good round. You're going to finish with 35 points. Once again, let us know in the comments if you beat Noah, if you got a better score than him. But I think that it could be a little bit of a split, because I don't know if anyone else will get all top 5 for the other ones. But then I'm sure people also got more points in the sacks category as well. But a good showing, I think. We'll do the same thing with Dale next week and see how he does. And then we'll be back to the head-to-head between Noah and Dale as we count down towards football season. I mean, fall camp is coming up really, really soon. Should be here at the very end of July, early August. They get things going. We still have some baseball coverage. Obviously, national champions. The first time we've done a trivia video since that's been confirmed. So we had all the coverage you need on the national championship run over at VolReport, and then now the transfer portal is closed, but Tennessee's starting to reel some guys in, 3 so far as we record this on Tuesday morning. We have all the coverage you need as they shape up next year's team, and then basketball season, of course, always gets going as well as during kind of these summer workout periods. So everything you need under the umbrella of Tennessee Athletics over at VolReport.com. Links to everything you need is in the description. Thank you for watching.